Okay, I should be live. Gotta tie this thing down. Everything is breaking. Like, freaking everything, and I can't afford to replace or buy anything. So I'm kind of screwed. I got that tied because the button broke. Then this thing wanted to break this morning. I don't know if any of y'all are out there yet, but what I'm needing help with is the audio portion. If someone can hear me, you know, turn that down. Chat filter. I'm going into work, so if you can hear me, let me know. What happened was the other day, I got caught in the rain, and it messed up my adapter, and it hasn't been working. But then yesterday, when I listened to my thing, it was working. Hey, Shangy girl. I think it's Shangy or Harley, one of them. Hangy girl, okay. Yeah, it's Shangy girl. How you doing? Let me know if you can actually hear me. Gotta put this up there, because my chain is broken. I'm also having storage issues. My phone got messed up too. So I gotta get everything transferred over, all that good stuff. And it is what it is. I may have got the adapter dried out enough that it's working, or the contact points cleaned up enough that it wants to work now. I don't know. If it is, it is. I'll try to listen later, and hopefully y'all can help me out. Because the adapter, with GoPro, you need a 3.5 to see. You need 3.5 for audio. And you need a 3.5. Let me get everything situated here. Because, well, I'm a fat girl, so what the hell. There we go. And I gotta head into work. But my phone has storage issues, and I never get the cloud to work right. It's supposed to just automatically upload to the cloud, save my pictures and stuff, because I have important pictures on there. I have pictures of family members and stuff, like old pictures. Like, I got a great grandmother. What the hell? There we go. Helps to have a throttle. Very loud and clear. That is awesome. That is awesome. I didn't realize that it was actually recording, because it recorded nothing going to work. So I'm practicing songs that are out of my vocal range. I'm riding home. I'm singing along with like a playlist on my phone. And you want to talk about a special kind of torture? Listening to your own voice, a cappella, singing out of your vocal range. Oh, I was listening to that this morning. That was just torture. My cats were crying. In fact, two of those bitches got in a fight, and I had to separate them. So yeah, that was just a special kind of torture. And this is a random kind of live, and thank you for helping me check the audio portion. Because if this thing will keep working, I won't have to get another one. Maybe. Now, I can't charge to the adapter. I might do like a chat or something, or a video explaining my setup again. I do have a video explaining my helmet setup. Maybe I ought to do a playlist or, you know, like tech stuff. I don't know. I don't have enough tech stuff. I'm not Spite's Corner. But of course, that's his thing. I think he went to college for all that recording and computer stuff. So that's literally his thing. So he's going to have a lot more technical stuff than me. I went to trade school and I took diesel mechanics. So if you've got a Freightliner, the 60 series Detroit in it, and a 13 speed, and your radiator's full of diesel and it's pumping it out on the ground, give me a call. Because, you know, one of your filter cups is cracked and you're pumping diesel into the coolant lines in your head. I can help you with stuff like that. I'm not as good on the electronic. I'm not bad, don't get me wrong. I'm not like grandma and grandpa, and I don't understand any of it, which grandma and grandpa understand more than you think they do. They're just a little slow on the upkeep or uptake or whatever. And you know, society's changing really, really, really fast. This is a different world. It's the same world, but it's different. It's one of those weird paradoxes where, in a way, the older generation is correct in a lot of things, you know, and in a way the new generation is. You still got to get out in the real world. The internet is not everything. This, you know, what I'm talking on, that is not everything. That is not the real world. We have a generation of people who can't talk to a cashier. That's not good. I don't know what the consequences are of that for society. But then again, the consequences of the internet, which is what the older generation doesn't get, are real. Ooh, look at the kitty. I don't know if y'all saw that. Camouflage works good. And the cows, they're all up. They're eating breakfast over there. Check them out. You know, we develop these online communities. We have great friends. I have great friends that have helped me out in times of need, and I've helped them out when I can. And it's like, you know, we used to go meet at the bar and what have you, and now we meet on some chat on Thursday nights kind of thing, and our group expanded over several states and continents. And I know some of y'all are overseas if y'all have never been to the United States. People in Europe wonder, why don't we travel as much as they do? They act like they're so cultured and they're globetrotters and all that, because they went from England to Germany, which is like going from Houston to Humble. You know, the English Channel ain't that fucking big. And we got a few of those channels down here too. And, you know, we've got 1,200 miles of border in Texas alone with Mexico. I mean, it takes over a day to cross my state. They have country, and our laws reflect that. I think y'all kind of think of our states like counties or something, you know? No. They're a little more important than that. States have counties. I'll check the chat when I get up here. I don't have a car on my ass. I got a car on my ass right now. Where are we at? There we are. It's a Harley. It's clunky. It's got that mechanical clunk clunk shifting with the new motor and exhaust sounding like a little sewing machine. So it's like a clunky sewing machine. That's how you can describe Harley now. A clunky sewing machine. But no, this stuff on the internet, the consequences are real. There's a little disconnect with some older people, like, well, that's just the internet. Yeah, and the whole world sees it. You know, that affects jobs and even with the younger generation, because I guess they don't understand consequences yet. Because you got these OF girls and all that stuff, and I'm not knocking you, don't take it wrong, don't take it that way. You have a right to do whatever you want to do, and if you can make that work, more power to you. Most of you aren't going to. Most of you aren't going to make enough money to support yourselves, and that's going to follow you like herpes, because society is still kind of fucked up, especially when it comes to anything like that. And you're going to have employers 20 years from now pull up your OF page, and that's not going to be good, you know. Granted, that was intended for bands and stuff. I think there are still some bands on there. I don't know, because I'm not on there, you know. Nobody would want to see me anyways. But that's just going to follow you like herpes. So, I mean, there's some people who are making their money, that's what they do. And like, you got strippers and stuff like that, and they got their page, and you know, it's like all the sex work and stuff has gone online, and in a way that probably makes things a lot safer, or makes streets safer, because you're not going to get rid of that, and McDonald's ain't going to pay the bills. But then again, too, there's a human aspect. So, I mean, the internet is like this wonderful thing that can save society, but it's probably going to destroy it. You know, we have these algorithms tracking everything that we do. Your phone listens to you. Your phone suggests products to you before you even know you have a problem. You can't turn it off. The cops can see inside your house because you've got smart TVs and smartphones, and you know, unless you got a Faraday cage, you're screwed. You can never really turn anything off. You can't even like unplug and take the battery out. There's still enough charge in there that they can turn it on and listen to what they want to know. Not only that, they can use the Wi-Fi signal that connects to all those smart devices, like radar, sonar, whatever, sonar sound. But it's still the same concept with the waves, you know, bouncing off, and they know where the people are going to be, where they're at. They can map everything out. They can listen to you. So it's like they don't need to have bugs anymore. You've got a phone, you know. God forbid you drive a Tesla or something like that. Imagine some criminal stupid enough to drive a Tesla. A device that records everything you do inside and out, time, date, stamp, GPS tracked. You are right here at this time doing this. This is when you got back in the car with the money, or with, you know, and it's all on film. It's probably one of the reasons older cars, the prices have gone up. Because there are many ways this new generation is screwed. One of them is, for like $100, $200 growing up, you could buy a car. It was a piece of shit. You're going to have to work on it every weekend, but you could get back and forth to work. And you learned how to work on things, you know? Or you got with somebody who could. I don't know. I got a friend. What does she say? You don't have to marry a mechanic, but you should at least fuck one. She's a trip. I think she lives by that statement. But, those cars aren't $100, $200 anymore. And it's like, we were waiting for minimum wage to go up to like $5 an hour. And we thought we were going to make money. Because you're getting paid like $3.70 an hour. Like, oh my God, I'm going to make $5 an hour. And that's back when gas was... So I may be going to lose my signal. I may have already lost it. I don't know. It is possible. I have lost it. I don't know. As you can see, I'm not exactly in the city right now. But, like, they go back and you look at, say, minimum wage in like 1961, 62. You compare that to minimum wage today. And you compare it to, I think in Texas it's still like $7 or $8 an hour. Some states are up to like 15. But yeah, I think it's like 7. It's actually at least the same for men and women now, because when I was a kid, there was a different rate for women as there was for men, and women still made less by minimum wage. People don't remember that shit. I do. But, yeah, marked on the wall. It had, you know, males get this, females get that, and you're making like a quarter less. Like, what the fuck? You know? And, but if you were to raise the minimum wage up to equal what it was in the 1960s, it would have to be like $28 an hour now. And then like college was so much less. You could literally work a minimum wage job part-time and go to college and pay for all of it. You can't do that now, not even at community college. You know, you're going to be getting some scholarships, living with mom, whatever. And that's since they're screwed. The boomers kind of screwed us. I'm Gen X for whatever that means. I don't know if that means as much as some people place on it. But the children of that World War II generation, I'm old enough to remember how the World War II generation talked about the boomers. And the boomers act like, oh, they had such a hard life and everything. And some of them did. Some of them went overseas on their senior trip and they didn't come back. So this Memorial Day, you know, remember them. My father was one of them. Well, he came back, but he came back with some issues. Yeah. So that would eventually kill him. Yeah, that just got dark real quick. But I remember how the boomers were talked about, that generation, the children of that World War II generation, and how they said they were lazy, they wanted everything for nothing, and kind of like how you talk about the millennials and all them now. That's exactly how they talked about them. And if you look what they've done to our economy and how much debt they've passed on to the next generations, like my generation and These kids now are fucked. You know? And they don't care because they're checking out. These guys are like 70 and 80 years old now, and they're going to be checking out as long as you don't cut the socialist programs that they live on. They're fine. They don't give a fuck about us. Now they'll scream about socialism and how bad it is, but don't you take that government money from them. Oh, well, that's not what do they call it? An entitlement. I paid for that. That's my money. Well, no shit. That's how government works. The government has no money, for those that don't understand. The government has $0 and 0 cents. What they have is your money. You know, and yeah, you paid into a program that you're supposed to be able to collect out of now. That's how socialism works. I'm not a socialist. I'm a capitalist fucking pig. But that's how it works. And, you know, they want their medication, doctor's appointments, and their checks in the mail, and all that kind of stuff. And they just don't want it for us. You know? It's kind of like everybody was into the alt-right thing and all that shit until they figured out what it was, which was just white nationalists rebranding themselves. And when people figured out what it was, they didn't necessarily have a problem with it until they figured out they were socialists. And then they started backing off of it. That's funny as hell. Yeah, they want everything that Democrats want. They just want it for white folks. So, yeah, the Klan never left the Democratic Party. Yeah, it's weird. Life is weird. I still need to check the messages. Hold on. I don't have anybody behind me. Well, I'm going to pull up a little bit because I don't know whose dogs are out here. That is a big, pretty rooster over there. He's walking around taking care of them hens. Heard them hens might get aggressive. Replace them. They need some maintenance. I don't know. You hear about that, like lions, lionesses. They demand attention. It's like, no, dude. We got one use for you. They go out, hunt. They do everything else. They're like, yeah, you can sit here. We got one thing. Well, two things we need from you. Okay. So the lion gets to fight and fuck. So let me see where we at. Flip this up. You're a friend of Shangy. She shared it on stream at her community post. Awesome. Well, my name is what? Which I think probably means my name is what? Welcome to the channel. Thank you. Shangy girl. How a safe drive on your big bike. I'm on my little bike today. And thank you for checking my audio there, Shangy girl. You are awesome. My big bike, I need a tire. I need a battery. I need a few things. I don't have money right now. So they're basically collapsing our economy. I think what Trump is doing would kind of work if there wasn't so much opposite. Like if everybody was on the same page, maybe. But they're not. And there's stuff like, okay, they're cutting money and canceling these programs, but they're not cutting it from the budget, which I think is what the rest of the world realizes. They understand what most Americans don't realize, which is how our government works, and we have 3 branches of government, and Donald Trump and Doge have no authority or ability to write a check, basically. That goes over to our nice people over there, and I believe it's Congress. But you got the Congress and the Senate, and the bills go back and forth, and one holds the purse, and the other's kind of making more laws and everything. And the budget is still the same. They haven't changed the budget. And which means it's the classic situation. It's just, it's more expanded on, or it's larger than it would normally be. Usually you have, like, the Democrats cut things the Republicans like, the Republicans cut things the Democrats like. And if you don't cut it from the actual budget, you're going to end up but you budget deficit, like if you cut the funding for it, running this massive deficit, and explaining to Americans the difference between deficit and debt and which one is which is kind of hard to do. Most people don't really care. It's like a whole cult they ascribe to. If it falls in line with whatever that cult tells them to believe, that's what they want. Instead of taking apart the numbers, looking at them and saying, you're both fucking morons. Can we get a different party? Yeah, I think at this point, the same people own the left as own or those breaking things. Those people were probably the same people that had those known federal agents telling people, go ahead, with being manipulated by these. I'm sorry, I get into a rant when I talk too long. So it probably even further than it normally would. Let me see, I think I got somebody else in here now. Never on the same page. Yes. Is a little bit, and we're my signal's going to be really bad through here. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but my signal is going to be really bad through this specific spot. At least until I get down here to the curves, it's going to break up and break up and break up. Yeah, signal ain't too great. Perfect for ranting. That way the signal cuts out right when I say the important word that makes you wonder, what the hell did I say in the first place? Well, them's the breaks when you're doing it live. I gotta go run a load of wastewater. No, I'm not doing wastewater today. I gotta do a dewatering box. I gotta do the roll-off. Get my new phone that's Verizon sent because the charging port's messed up on my phone from the rain the other day, and I can only charge it wirelessly right now. So they're gonna do that. I'm gonna go into Verizon because I got the phone, and they will help me swap everything over, and hopefully I get all my pictures swapped over, because like I got pictures like my great grandparents, and I don't know if it's, there's one picture that I don't know if it's from the old country or from here, you know, because yeah, it's like got the whole family gathered together, like not like my grandparents and their, you know, cousins and all of them, but it's like their generation, you know, Peter and Anna and their sisters and cousins, and, you know, all these people who are 100 and something years ago, right around or just before the turn of the century, the last one. And I love what she's got on. 10s, 1920s. I don't want to lose those pictures. Make sure they all say those are rather. And she died of, she popped out like 6 kids, ovarian cancer, and then he remarried. And then he had like 6 more kids. No, he had like 10 more, something like that. I get the number of kids that they had and the next ones had confused. My great-great-grandparents and my great-grandparents on that side. And one of them, my grandmother died and the grandfather remarried and they kept having kids. And the other one, my grandfather died and my grandmother remarried and kept having kids, because this is before birth control. This is where women routinely popped out. Like the part of my family down here is Baptist and Pentecostal, and they all married Catholics, so I still have a bunch of Catholics down here. Weird how that worked. They couldn't go out drinking and dancing with their Baptist friends, so they ended up meeting and falling in love with Catholics, and they married Catholics. But anyways, if you can see those chemical plants up ahead, I'm getting close to work. Which means I'm going to have to let you all go if you can still hear me at all. Thank you, especially Shangy Girl. Thank you so much helping me with my audio. You are awesome. And I will catch you all later because I gotta go to work. So adios, via con Dios. Nashla, ciao, deuces, yo. I'll catch you later. Y'all watch yourselves. Bye.